you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm in Orlando. John and I ended up going to the Marriott Swan Hotel because I have points and it's free. They have a huge generator and infrastructure here, so we don't lose our electricity. Because believe me, you can have hurricane windows and everything, but you lose your electricity for a really long period of time and it's horrific. So we're here, we made it. I was really lucky because very quickly the hotels sold out and the freeways filled up and it was impossible to leave. Anyway, we made it, yay! And the hurricane is not so bad. Right now it's 25 mile per hour winds and rain, but we're in really good shape and I hope everyone's safe. Special thanks to the patrons that have such amazing jobs at hotels and invited me to go stay safely at their hotels. And that was so sweet of you guys. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12, episode 20 in a minute. I'm going to start by covering some things that I've been dying to tell you, and then I'll go into the show. Right now, I can't watch the show, even though it's airing, because Marriott, big shocker, doesn't have Bravo. You think that's shade to the Hiltons? But yeah, so I have to stream it. So we're going to have to wait on that one. I thought that was so funny. Did you think I was shading the Hiltons when I said I'm staying at the Marriott? One more update, you guys. A few of you asked if I had gotten my lens replacement yet, and they canceled the surgery. So I have to get it next week. So I'm getting my lens replaced on my eyeballs next October 5th. But I'm figuring out the content, so don't you worry. I'll still be in the saddle doing my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode 21 recap. Oh, yes, I will. Nothing stops me. No way. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to share with you guys was this.
Really, what do you think about the rumors online that you and Mauricio were having an affair?
Oh, God.
And is there anything you want to share about it with us?
Is there anything you want to share?
Let's get into it.
Honey, listen, when something is so ridiculous, you just kind of discount it. It's something that it strikes a chord only because Mo, PK, Kyle, and I were friends together. And it is such a nothing. And then to have someone start those vile rumors, it's gross. But you don't want to give air to it. But I think anybody can understand. It's just, it's annoying as F.
All right. Yeah. When she's got steak, why would she want a cheeseburger?
That was so annoying. Why was that annoying to me? Because why don't you turn your head to the left and look at Andy Cohen and say, why are you starting those rumors about Mauricio and me having an affair? Because the rumors have come from the edit of the reality show that she is on, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which each week they love to show us these highlights of her calling him a honey or giving him a hug or a kiss or having, intimate conversations about sausage, although I found out that was probably a conversation about kosher. But I'm just saying, guys, why is she blaming someone out there when it's Andy? Because who approves the edit? So annoying. Anyway, and then why would she call me out in the tabloids and make me look like the villain? And then on Watch What Happens Live, it's some mystery person. Let me tell you something. Dorit is highly fashionable and very pretty after whatever she's done to herself. Just saying. And she seems likable to a degree. But let's be clear. These people have a really weird way of being each other's friends. Okay? So, first of all, Dorit didn't have Kyle's back in the last few episodes. She does appear from the edit to be flirting at a minimum with Mo and vice versa. Mo called out the fact that PK can't get a hard-on national TV, and then PK constantly belittles Mauricio and his real estate career on the show, and then just now saying, you know, he's like a burger and PK is a steak. Now, yes, he's kidding, and we all know he's being sarcastic, but you know what? Those types of friends, yeah, I outgrew them in 5th grade. And this whole BS about her saying, well, you know, you don't want to call these things out, but, you know, being vague or whatever. She called it out by going on my Instagram feed and yelling at me in like an essay instead of like a one-liner. It was like an essay about what is my problem and I'm a loser and all these things. Like, of course the tabloids are going to notice, and she knew that. She called attention to it on purpose. And if she read what I wrote, she knew I didn't start any gossip or rumor. I was merely reposting something that the fans were talking about and asking, like, what do you think? Why do you feel this way? Because you guys are all talking about the edit that seems to indicate that Mo and Dorit have a deeper relationship. So I just was like, you know, it's just nonsense. Like, she's just basically what I believe, you guys. And I know many of you love her, and that's okay. But I believe she's playing us. That's it. I include me because of what she and PK have done now, using me to get press on social media to make themselves look like victims. It's so annoying. Now that is annoying as F. 3 times. I'm sorry, I should have added in the last 4 months. And one more thing too. Did you notice that BravoCon was using my meme from season 2, which I love that they find it nostalgia. And they want to use it to market anything to do with did you know, 25 days yet to get your tickets to BravoCon and all this stuff, or did you know, blah, blah, or for Dubai, did you know there's now $100,000 glasses, or whatever they do. They keep integrating it. I am so proud of that, and I love it. But you know what I don't love is that they're using me to advertise BravoCon, and then they don't even offer me a ticket. Just saying. Really, Bravo? Really, NBC? Seriously? Who's shady? Who's the shadiest of them all? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the shadiest of them all? Andy Cohen. I want to reiterate one more time about the filters, okay? I use the filters because this is my art. Imagine that these gossip sessions are long NFTs. Not that I'm ever going to sell them, but you get the drift. And I just want to make them mine, unique to my art. Okay, one more thing that I thought was so weird. So Diana Jenkins never had a Twitter. That's right, never had a Twitter. She only had an Instagram. But someone had opened a Twitter up with her handle and seemed to be talking like her. And I'm not talking about the parody accounts, because there's a few parody accounts that they never acted like they were her. They'd have her face. It was weird looking, but there was a Twitter account that really did act like it was her. And it turns out it wasn't her, because she didn't have one. And it got turned off, I'm assuming, because she reported it. But a lot of fans thought her account got shut down. But I just want to say that wasn't her account, allegedly. She's saying that wasn't her. So weird. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to play you came from a show that will not be mentioned, because they're shady little bitches, these girls. Okay, ready? I'm going to play it for you.
Once again, the fact that the DJ won't play a song that Kathy wants, it's Kyle's fault again. And I'm like, is this really an issue? Me personally, I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. This really isn't. Are we really doing this, guys? So the fact that things get that ugly over a DJ not playing a song. I mean, you didn't get that upset when your husband was accused of cheating on you. Thank you. What? So I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I think there's some imbalances here. And I think the walls are starting to come down. And I think, you know. You said that before, too. Yeah. And I think, it is a little bit rough.
Okay, she just breezed on by that. Breezed on by it. So first of all, she's talking about Kathy Hilton. Did Rick Hilton cheat on Kathy Hilton and she didn't care? Teddy just dropped that bomb and just went boop and then moved on. And I think she did that on purpose. But I'm like, what? Whoa, okay. So anybody got any gossip on that? I've already put my feelers out on the ground. Please let me know if you guys have heard anything like that. Wow, wowzers. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. I think I've said this before, and I'm going to play you something to help you believe what I'm about to say. There's no way Lisa Rinna would come for Kathy Hilton unless Kyle Richards planted the seed that it was something that she was okay with and that she was actually kind of wanting to have happen. And I think Kathy knows that. Okay? I'm just saying she's sneaky. I think Kyle played Lisa. She got Lisa on side to go after Kathy, and she was in on it. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to play you Alison Dubois. Remember the psychic from season 1, Dinner Party from Hell? She was friends with Camille. I actually met her a bunch of times when I would go to parties with Taylor. She would sometimes come with Camille, and I met her. Maybe I met her through Camille out in Malibu. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But anyway, Allison I met a few times, and she was very cool. This is her talking to David Yontef on Behind the Velvet Rope, and I thought this would interest you.
You know, honestly, at first, I just thought they were really rude. I thought Kyle was rude. I thought she was demanding. When she said, I should have pulled out my credit card, she'd never even make my list. I blocked her on Instagram. It's like, in what world, Kyle? In what world? So I will take up free rent in that woman's head for the rest of her life because she knows what I said is true, or wouldn't bother.
Talking about the fact that she said that Mauricio would never be able to fulfill her. Remember? To Kyle, she said that. That was interesting, given the stuff that is definitely not happening between Mo and Dorit. Hold on.
You say Mauricio will never fulfill her emotionally.
I already know why. It's a very small town right there. It's just, she works very hard, from what I've been told and seen, to bury stories that involve him. So, whatever. It's her life. Either I hope she's happy if she goes down that path and they're able to end up together and that she's content. Good for her, that seriously, good for her. I don't actually wish her ill. I think she's rude as fuck, but I don't wish her ill. If she is doing all of this and putting this much energy into covering up a bad relationship, that's going to physically take a toll on her, and it'll manifest in her physically, which worries me more.
Okay, so this is a recent interview, just to say that to you. Okay, so this is 10 years later, she still feels this way. Yeah, Allison's still committed to what she said that night.
Actually want her to go through what her mom went through. So
Big
out
package.
of actual, and I'm saying this legitimately concerned, I hope that she gets to a place where she could just make it about her and her husband and get real with one another and have a good life and not try to bury the flaws. Flaws are okay. We're people. We're supposed to have flaws, and it's what makes us interesting. And people out there, I think the audience, they're pretty good bullshit detectors.
Okay, now Allison is going to allude to T about Mauricio. I need you to hear this, and then we'll get into the episode, but I had to share this with you.
It's kind of freeing.
It's kind of free, and you get a vibe of something physical.
Oh no, I've actually met people that were very good friends of his. Yeah.
Wow.
So I went to it's hard. It's a hard one to touch. Happy to say something off the air. I will say there was an article Perez Hilton years ago had released, and she put the kibosh on it pretty quickly, that pretty much summed up what's been going on. And she did not want that out there. And then I did get some direct messaging from a woman who shared her paperwork from her lawyer against them. Kyle and Maurizio. So I know they got a lot going on. I know she's a public figure.
Quick gossip dump. A few people wanted clarity on what went down at the Caribou Club. So what allegedly went down was that when the DJ wouldn't play a song that was Michael Jackson that Kathy wanted, Kathy whispered a slur to Erica Jane and said, that old effer homophobic slur, okay? And like Erica was upset or whatever, or she wanted to use it and weaponize it. Anyway, needless to say, she texted all the women about it when it was going down. And so they were all getting text messages. And allegedly Lisa was trying to get Kathy out of there because she felt that she was belligerent and she was doing really dumb things. And so she brought her home, but I think she used it. So then Lisa either steps in as a friend to get Kathy out of there because she's belligerently drunk, and then all this stuff happens and Lisa's like, I'm done with you, you're gross. Or Lisa manipulates the situation and eggs Kathy on while she's comforting her and taking her home, and then uses all the information given to take her out. Now, some people think that Kyle didn't know and she's a victim, and, this is like Kathy's just ranting about Kyle and poor Kyle. Other people think that Kyle was in on it and she gave Lisa the permission to go for her sister and, kind of supported it because her and Kathy haven't gotten along for years and years and years and years. And they're always in a rivalry. And they have been in, even since the show has been on, they've been in fights. They made up. They've been in fights again. They're still in a fight. They're always going to be at odds, Kathy and Kyle. Always. So no matter how many times they apologize, they're going to get through like family occasions. They're going to distance themselves and only speak when they have to in regards to things. And that's it. Just that's the way it's going to be. So like, let's hope that we can watch them at least pretend to like each other on camera. That's all I got to say. All right. Next gossip item. Kyle walks off the reunion because she's composing herself. She ends up crying, I guess, so hard that she needs to like take a minute and take a break. So that's the walk-off scene that everybody's been talking about that happens at the reunion. Just to understand. As I mentioned last week, Crystal completely lied and knew about everything that was going on, but on her confessional video made it sound like she didn't. And she didn't believe that it was in Kathy's nature to do it or something to that effect. But yeah, Crystal's needs Kathy, so that makes sense. Kathy has been posting sort of anti-Kyle and Lisa posts all week on her Instagram, and I just think that, Kathy is going to hold a grudge. Kathy is doing this because she's done. You are right if you think she wouldn't sink to that level normally. You are right. But Kathy is done. She is showing it by posting it on her social media with both Kyle and Lisa. She's like, I'm done now. And now I'm going to go low blow and do what I'm going to be ruthless. That's exactly what's happening. And I would be the same. Pisces. Okay, it's the next morning. I just got up and threw on a dress, and I'm going to finish the recap. I finally was able to watch the show. Most of the electricity is out throughout Florida, so a lot of people are really struggling right now, and I just want to send my love and my light to them. This episode was really good, I'd say, towards the second half. I felt like the beginning was a little bit set up. We got Erica Girardi talking to her therapist, which was weird because you shouldn't really be talking to your therapist on a national television show, honestly. It's so inappropriate, but it seemed like a way to try to show a sensitive side to Erica that she is incapable of showing herself. So out of desperation to try to turn the fans around on Erica, the producers were like, well, maybe we could get the therapist to say the things Erica won't say that we think is true. Or maybe they don't think it's true, but they need to somehow put her in a better light. And she refuses to do it. She refuses to do something that a normal person would do to be made whole. The situation is, it's very difficult for me to feel bad for Erica and see her as a victim because she stayed with a man who apparently was very mean and only bought her nice things. And she had no reason she had to stay, frankly, for 20 years. and had a luxury lifestyle that she never earned except by putting up with his crap. So why would I feel bad for her? It's not like she had a child with him that she had to stay for, or some, vulnerability that really, impaired her ability to leave him and go start over again and all this stuff. There's nothing to feel compassionate about with Erica, no matter how hard they try. And frankly, having a therapist, tell us a way to think about it that will make us feel better about Erica is BS. So I do believe one thing she said on this show was true, probably the only thing she said true the whole season, and that was that she's afraid. I do believe she's truly afraid. Why? Because she still isn't really funding any of the legal behind her legal problems. And so as long as that is the case, she has no control. And yet again, she's put, her life in the hands of men. I don't understand. This woman's supposedly so strong and all this stuff, but all she keeps doing is putting her power with men. It's never going to end well, Erica. There's only one way to get your power back, and that's to stop relying on men and do it yourself. Truly. All by yourself. Then in this episode, we go to the hair extension party for Pretty Mess Hair, a pop-up. The producers use Crystal in this scene to explain why the DJ may not have wanted to play Billie Jean at Caribou Club, because obviously he's had numerous allegations made against him that were settled out of court about little boys, coming to his theme park that he used to have at his house. And, it's well known that he settled a lot of those lawsuits, which some people see as... and the amount of them, that he was guilty of that horrible thing and therefore, in a sense, should be canceled. And so this is what Crystal is speaking about. And then the other people in the group are like, but he was a legend in terms of his music and art, and they can see it from the perspective of like, as an artist, he was, a genius and super talented, and so can't we respect his work at least. And he was never criminally charged, although they tried, because all the people were paid off before it could accelerate, and then they dropped their criminal cases against him. So people want to maintain the integrity of him as an artist and just enjoy his art at this point. And now that he's passed away, this is sort of the other view we see at the Pretty Mess hair extension party. Diana Jenkins gets a call from Elton John at this party, and she says she has all these stories that she can't tell us but happened. I don't know why she can't tell us. It's kind of weird to allude to it and then not tell us, but we'll leave it there. And it seems a bit of a snub to me that Elton John would call Diana but doesn't call Sutton, who's donated a lot of money to his charity. And I thought to myself, I thought that was such a strange move. Now, I know Diana Jenkins has given way more than most people to Elton John, and she's also served, I think, on the board of his charity, which, of course, Sutton isn't doing. But it kind of was a snub, and I thought that was really, not intelligent from the charity's perspective, because now everyone's like, well, wait a minute, I'm giving, $150,000 to the charity. Where's my call from Elton? Fenty's blind turns out to be true in this episode. I wanted to call that out because some people are really question his blinds, but he's pretty bang on. And in this episode, Lisa admits in a whisper to Dorit that she rents her clothes. And so there had been a blind a long time ago that one of the West Coast housewives couldn't afford because of financial problems or some financial restraint to wear the clothes that she was representing on the show as if she owned them, but in fact she was renting them. And so I guess it was Lisa Rinna who was the person that blind was about. A lot of people thought it was Dorit. So now we know. Unless, of course, they cut out the part where Dorit says, oh, I use that too, which always could be the case. The edit was a mess regarding the Caribou Club and Diana paying off the manager. She obviously was paying him off to get their service to be quicker, and they tried to make it sound like she was paying it off, to be quiet, and it just was very bizarre. There's been a lot of rumors around why the staff were quiet. One of which was that the Caribou Club is a private club. They don't allow cameras, and that all of the staff were under NDAs with the Caribou Club, and they're not allowed to leak information about things that happen in the club because they'd be fired and sued by Caribou Club. In addition, there were gossip rumors that Kathy actually sent cease and desists to any tabloid or whatever that was reporting on this. And so they immediately yanked the stories. Some people that were going to publish them didn't. The big climax of this episode is Kathy Hilton going over to Kyle Richards' house to apologize. She oddly wears the same shirt she wore in Aspen during her breakdown that says peace, which leads me to believe she's got some sort of product placement thing with that shirt, because I can't imagine why you would wear the same shirt twice that you wore when you had a meltdown that you're trying to get away from, unless it's a secret symbol of like F you, but it just was weird. I'm just, it didn't land correctly, whatever she was trying to do there. Maybe she's paid to wear it, is what I was thinking. The other walk up where she pulls off a flower is very weird, because that would be very disrespectful to do in anyone's house. So I don't understand Kathy doing that. I was like, is it a stunt? What was that? She gets to the front door. She does some sort of weird cowboy scene that she's reenacting, which made no sense. And then she goes in and she starts her apology session with Kyle. Okay, the cowboy thing is funny, and it makes her seem bonkers. And I get that that's like a thing that the fans love about her. But it's, in this scene, to me, it was a little bit like off-putting, because I was just like, wait a minute, this is a serious moment. I guess she was trying to make it not serious or lighten it up. I don't know. So they sit down, and Kyle hears her out. Kathy tries to deflect, and Kathy doesn't take a lot of ownership in this particular scene, which I think was a mistake, but she played it the way she played it. And I think that is probably her publicist telling her to play it the way she did. I know she's got a lot of support from team, so I think she probably was doing what they said. And they're not on reality TV, but they are good at celebrity, fixing, and I'd say that was what that was all about. I think that scene went as planned for Kathy. Like, she was happy with the way that went down with Kyle alone. Kyle did seem a little bit bullied by Kathy, the way she talked to her patronizingly, which I'm sure depicts their real relationship to a degree. Kathy was aware the cameras were there, and you could tell when she was shooting the scene that, which isn't like her. She usually acts like she isn't aware of them. Lisa Rinna was an ambush. She did not know Lisa was going to be there, and allegedly Kathy tried to leave before Lisa, quote unquote, arrived. But I think Lisa was probably hidden in the house already, which kind of backs up my theory that Kyle was sort of giving this the ability to all go down with the support of production. Lisa shows up appears, but I think she was there. Like I said, I don't think the doorbell rang and she came in. I think production had her hidden, and she comes out, and then she comes really hard for Kathy. Lisa's trying to get her to admit the racism comments that she said and the homophobic comments that she said, and that's pretty obvious. She's trying to get Kathy to say it. Kathy is not willing to admit those things. Lisa's pushing. She can't say it herself, I guess, because she, knows that Kathy would be very upset and it's a problem. And it probably would be cut. So she's trying to get Kathy to say it. And Kathy's trying to get her to back off and placate Lisa. And Lisa's not having it. And we sense it. and then Lisa pulls the black heart comment, which was to really get across the darkness of what was said. Lisa certainly has had her dark moments, and she has done horrible things to people on the show. She's also not liked by the fans very much at this point in time. It was a very risky move for her, but I think what she was trying to do was she was trying to say that I am going to take this upon myself to make a bigger symbol out of Kathy about homophobic behavior and racism, and I'm going to champion it like that. And so I think that's the way Lisa looked at it. Forget me, this is about something bigger. It's about a malfunction in programming, ignorance, and people trying to make it like it's okay and not a big deal, and but it is. And she wanted Kathy to get therapy because she wants her to be reprogrammed if she is indeed a racist and a homophobe deep down inside. For that, I'm grateful. However, I will say this. Kathy did come off like she was very impacted in the scene with Lisa by what was being said. However, when she leaves the house, she starts commenting on the flowers and everything. And we don't know how long from the point that she actually is having the conversation, this heavy conversation, and the fact that she's walking out the door and says, oh, the flowers or whatever. We don't know how long it was. And that could be dirty editing, trying to make it seem like Kathy was a master manipulator. She goes in, she cries, she says all this stuff, and then she walks out the door like it's nothing. However, like I said, it could be dirty editing, and I want you guys to keep that in mind. I guess my final conclusion for me personally of that scene was I think Lisa Rinna and Kathy Hilton need to get therapy, and like yesterday. And that's all I have to say about that. As far as Kyle Hilton and Kathy Hilton are concerned, as I've mentioned, I never believe that their relationship truly will be functional. I hope that they're able to, continue doing the show together, even if it's inauthentic, although I'm not sure Kathy Hilton will after all this. And I think that Kyle is really, really worried about Farrah's wedding throughout this, part of the show. I think in the back of her mind, she doesn't want the Hiltons to not show up at Farrah's wedding. I don't believe Kathy Hilton is jealous of the Kardashians, just saying. I think she wanted to promote her tequila for product placement reasons, and it's just simply that. And she felt that Lisa Rinna was intentionally hurting her placement. The big takeaway isn't so much the Kathy Lisa dynamic on the tequila and the product placement, right? It's more about, did Lisa Rinna text Kris Jenner and say, I tried to promote the tequila company, your 818 tequila company, and Kathy Hilton got furious because she was trying to promote hers, that she has a percentage of ownership in and like a investment of some sort. And I wonder if Kris then gossiped to Lisa that Kathy is jealous of her, or the Hiltons are jealous of the Kardashians. Because remember, there's always been that gossip floating around for years that Paris Hilton was very jealous, although they're friends, Paris and Kim are friends, that Paris was very jealous that Kim got this huge success in reality TV and was able to maintain it longer than Paris Hilton did. And especially add to that Kim started out as Paris Hilton's staff. And then she basically transcended her. So whether you hate Kim Kardashian or love Kim Kardashian or hate Paris Hilton and love Paris Hilton, you can't deny the fact that put yourself in Paris's shoes. You hire someone, they release a sex tape just like you had happened to you. You blow up first. You're not able to maintain it for a long period of time, but definitely you're still successful. You're great. But then Kim takes that same kind of opportunity that you got and blows it into the stratosphere, and it lasts way, way, way longer. And how you'd feel about that. Just saying. You'd probably be a little jealous. And I'd say keeping up with the Kardashians is a real thing in LA. And I'd say their brands compete a lot. Right? The Hilton Kardashian brands probably compete a lot in the same categories. So anyway, I'll leave that here with you guys. Thank you for your love. I got a lot of DMs last night about the hurricane, so I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I hope everybody's safe, and I'm sending my love to you guys.